Greg G asks, what is the ratio of studying and social life like at Oxford? Now, I think that the good thing about Oxford is, although you do work hard, you also do party quite hard as well, if you're into that. And the other thing is, I think it's quite good because you're so close to all your friends.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you're out of the library, you're socialising.
Yeah.
And, like, the bar is right in college. There's not any sort of annoying intermediate time. It's all very... You don't need to worry too much. I've never found it an issue that I didn't have enough sort of social life.
Yeah, the accommodation in first year at St Peter's and at most colleges is catered, so you eat all your meals in hall, which in itself is in Freshers Week is a incredibly useful way to get to know people and to make friends, because you're almost forced into socialising by the act of going to hall and eating your meals with everyone. It's kind of like it's like going out for a meal with your friends, but nearly like every single day. It's really, really nice. Obviously, it's not quite as amazing as that.
And you can have formals and things,
yeah,
which are good. Where you get to wear your gown. It's like Harry Potter.
Yeah. The formal being like essentially like a 3-course meal, which is actually quite cheap. So the one in St Peter's is about £7 or so, and it's really nice. And people do it when they want to go out that evening, or they want to celebrate someone's birthday or something like that. And we have themed ones as well, so you can have like charity Harry Potter ones or
Halloween. Burns night was fantastic.
Yeah, a Christmas one's really good as well.
Ultimately, it's what you make of it. If you want to tilt the work-life balance more into the work side of things, then you can, but you will never be at a loss for things to do. You'll always be busy, and there's always loads of stuff going on, so you definitely won't be bored.
That's the good thing. You have the freedom to do kind of what you want, although there's so many things on offer to do in Oxford. I've kind of found that most people here take a lot of advantage of them, and are the kind of good thing is people, when they're not working, they've got so much opportunity to socialise almost instantly that that's kind of one of the special things about being in a college, that you can do that straight away.
And there's lots of good sort of like groups, like uni-wide sort of societies and things, which are really good ways of meeting other people, and you can, and like also like a lot of the sport, there's really good sports facilities, there's really good sort of facilities to do pretty much whatever you want in your spare time. And as long as you make the most of your spare time, then you don't feel hard done by that you're working quite a bit. Yeah,
definitely. And at the Freshers' Fair, when you arrive, there's a Freshers' Fair with about 300 societies or so of really random stuff. And I've got involved in things I'd never thought I'd get involved in. Like I now really like Scottish dancing, and kind of couldn't really imagine myself doing that before university. Croquet as well. Croquet's got a really bad image, but it's great.
It is so fun.
So much fun. The angles have never been more fun.
Never played it before here. Coming is an opportunity, which
it's great. It's very easy to be really competitive at it as well. So there's loads of stuff to do.
So the next question says, in terms of settling into life at Oxford during your first few weeks there, was making friends and meeting new people difficult? And what was the change in workload like from A-level, and how did you manage it?
Okay.
So I found that within like 2 days I'd already met so many people and made quite a lot of friends. And speaking to my other friends from home during their Freshers' Weeks as well, it sounded like I met lots more people and was having more fun with lots of different people than they were, because I don't know, in other unis when you have the flats, you kind of meet a group of people and they tend to sort of clique together and stay in those groups, whereas here, because we've got the college atmosphere and like Ryan said about halls and stuff, you're in a big group, but it's still small enough to get to know everybody. So you get to know so many names and faces. It's really good.
I found it much easier than I thought it would be, mainly because Oxford's special in the sense that there are so many different categories of friendship groups you can get involved in very quickly. So obviously you've just got people you know in college, you've got people who are going to be in your accommodation of everyone, or there's in St Peter's, for example, there's 2 main accommodation blocks, Matthews and New Block, and people develop attachments to them very quickly. There's your subject group. You get to know your subject very quickly, you have a meal with them in the first week and meet all your tutors and stuff. So and then there's obviously people you're just going to meet in the bar, and when the best thing about Freshers' Week obviously is that there's a Freshers' Week committee, and they organise lots and lots of different events, varying nature, to get people involved and talking to each other and stuff. So I find it very easy. Again, the thing about eating in hall all the time. I obviously didn't meet that many people on the first day, but on the first morning I had to come down and go to breakfast, and there's such a nice atmosphere in college anyway that you sit down next to people and they, you know, especially for the in Freshers Week and throughout the first term, people actively trying to engage in conversation. The second and third years, because they went through that same friendly atmosphere themselves, are very good at that. So yeah, I found it surprisingly easy. I thought it was great, and because again, go back to the idea of not forming cliques. That works well in college because we've got so many people here from all sorts of backgrounds from different countries. You find yourself in a diverse bunch of friends very, very quickly, which is fantastic.
And yeah, I think the other point to make here is that everyone is in exactly the same situation as you. So it's not like because I found when I went to sixth form from my high school, everyone was sort of already going in friendship groups. Whereas to uni, no one knows anyone, and everyone is just wants to make friends with everyone else, and everyone seems to be really lovely as well.
Yeah.
But the other thing with the work balance thing, I didn't find it too much of an issue. Like you usually do, you're basically just doing a lot of one subject, and it's just less sort of lots of subjects and more just all on one subject. It's like I haven't found the work days any particularly different to the work days I would do before. It's just more focused on one topic.
No, particularly for some of the humanities subjects, if you spent the same amount of time on your subject that you spent as in the school day, then you wouldn't have any trouble at all.
Yeah.
Obviously some subjects are more demanding than others, but in general it's not too drastic a break. Part of the reason the admissions process has to be so rigorous is that obviously studying at Oxford is can be taxing at times, and the university and the tutors need to know that you know, you'll be able to do it. So if you take up a place and you arrive here, then I wouldn't worry about it. Also, you've got in Freshers Week, you'll meet people in your subject from the years above, so they can talk to you if you have any sort of concerns.